Hey guys, can you hear me? Can you see me? I'm back. Are we back? Are we back? Is it so back? Are we so back? Can you guys see me? Okay, I'm seeing it good on my end. You guys still here? Maybe the delay. Uh, uh. Oh no! Don't start ads. No, snooze. Uh, brain not working, but hope you guys are still here. Hope you guys can hear me. Uh, hubba 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 hubba. Brain not function. What? What was I talking about? Um, I think I'm back. Hubba 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 hubba. Okay. What was I talking about? Like honestly, we're so back. We're so back. Let's go. Yeah. 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 Heck yeah. All right. Um. Yeah. So I was talking about how yeah, long hunts. Oh yeah. Oh, next, yeah. So what I wanted to talk about was the like how GU had like the airship. So instead of having a camp, because like the maps would be so large, we wouldn't be able to teleport around, but we'd have like the airship going around the map, and we could run over to it and like go back up onto it. And that would be like our respawn area and whatnot. I don't. That wouldn't be our hub, but it would be like your way to get to and from the hub. I guess. I don't know. It's a thought that needs more thought, but But I think having an airship around would be cool. Kind of like how in the older games, you could have the airship and then you could like wave at it and then it would like tell you where the monster is. But instead, you could like one of my favorite ideas I heard was like you could send it over to an area of the map and then you could wave and it would tell you if the monster's within this area or not. Not exactly where, just within this area. It was an idea I heard. And if it's not, you just look in a different area. But if it is, and then if it is in that area, it would tell you, and then you would go over that area and look. And I think that's like a really cool idea. Even if that's like just like a skill or something, it would be cool. Oh, thank you, convulsive gun. Where are these people coming from? Thank you for following. Nope. You're bot. I hate you. I don't look, even if I'm a small creator, I'm never gonna buy bots or, buy views or buy followers because that's a waste of money. I want genuine people because I want genuine people here. Rip for all the homies who fall for them. Yeah, I've saved a couple homies from bot messages because the okay, the worst spots, and I do not blame people for falling for these ones, are the ones that take over another person's account and then pretend to be that person. I do not blame people for falling for those kinds of bots because, in good faith, you believe that it is the person you are talking to because it's them, you know? And they're usually pretty like nonchalant, and they're the strongest kind of like, scams. And I do not blame people for falling for those, but you do have to be a little bit vigilant because sometimes it's like, I'm not gonna say their name, but someone basically got a reply from someone they hadn't heard from in a while, and they went and they were like, "Oh yeah," because it was like, "Hey, can you download this game and try it for me? Because I've been working on a game for a while." It's like, "Oh, this person I haven't talked to them in a while. They clearly that's probably why they were busy or something. And so I want to try out this game." And we were in VC talking at the time, and so it was like, bro, like, Jesus, like, I don't know, they almost fell for it, despite like the website was incredibly sketchy and it was so fake. I'm like, at that, like, I don't I don't mind if you fall for them up to that point, but if you continue with that, it's like, I understand how you feel, but like, I don't know. I fell for a GFX spot once when I first started. Made really bad art and it tried to force me to pay for it. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I, I, I have a bunch of those people who try to follow me on Twitter. I also don't like when someone shows up. It's like, "Hey, I followed you. Follow me back." Makes me uncomfortable very much. In fact, I would block them personally. It's like, no, you followed me because you want to see me, okay? And if you follow me and I like your stuff and I follow you and then you unfollow me, I'm going to unfollow you because, like, I had someone do that because, like, someone cool I liked, they followed me, liked a couple of my posts, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I followed them." That was pretty cool, It's like, whatever, I appreciate the follow. Um, I like your stuff. And then they unfollowed me for some reason, and I do not understand why. And I'm like, "What?" It was so weird. Just like, why'd you follow me in the first place? Like, was it an accident or what? It was so strange. I was just like, I was just really shocked. So I just unfollowed them. It was very strange. It's something I had not seen before. I mean, I saw the I follow you, you follow me thing, but like that was very different because they didn't say anything to me. They just followed me. It felt kind of like like an obliged like thing. I don't know. Last night someone showed up was like, huh, sure. So they left and then unfollowed before I removed them. Yeah. Yeah, if people are asking for follows, they don't actually care. Look, if someone comes in here asking for follows, I'm going to ban them or I'm going to time them out. I do not care. No, no advertising, because that's literally advertising. It's hey, I follow you, you follow me. No, you are advertising yourself. I don't care. People just see others as numbers, and I hate that. Yeah, I like this is why I won't like I'll happily play a game with someone, but I will not like collab or stream with them unless we are like friends. We've gotten time to play with each other for a while now, and I appreciate you, you appreciate me, like genuine friends, then I'll stream with you. Or if you drag me on, if I just happen to pop into your stream because I like you, or something like that. It's like fine. That's fine. But like, if you talk to me just to collab with me while we barely even know each other, it's like I will be skeptical just because it's like I don't know if you're using me or not. I don't blame you if you want to collab or whatever kind of thing, but it's like, I'd prefer to get to know you better and actually have a reason to collab kind of thing. Can you follow me? I'm pretty sure I already do, Spoops. Yeah, I do. Follow you on Twitter, follow you on Twitch. Just feel a little weird when people find out stream, don't mention it. If I like someone, I'll raid them, but I always feel like they'll think the worst of it. Fair. And sometimes people play with me a lot on stream, which is cool. But I don't know them sometimes. Yeah, some people kind of do it just because it's like, especially if they're also streaming. I don't mind if people join me and play games with me if I have an open lobby in Monster Hunter or something like that. That's fine. If you're not advertising yourself, it's fine. Honestly, like we're just playing a game. But if you make a deal about it, like it's strange. Or if you try to set up a collab and we don't know each other, now I don't mind if someone else sets a collab, like if I'm in a collab with someone I don't know, as long as it's like, let's say we have a 4-person collab and I get invited by person A and person A invites B, C, and me. If I don't know B and C, it's not like I'm gonna feel or anything because it's like, well, person A did it. It's not my collab. I'm just there, part of the collab. It all really is. There's a lot of semantics to it, but just concerned about some bits of it. Some people just take you for granted. I stream with my friends and I'll play with a bunch of other people. I'm happy to play open lobbies with people all the time. I'm happy to maybe VC. To be fair, my streams are a lot more chill than maybe most. I don't care. I don't care about putting on a presentation. I don't care putting on a face. I rather would be me. I hate playing a personality. I hate playing a person. The person I am is me. And I am myself. I will not pretend to be anyone else, and so I don't have to put up an act because I'm me. So it's like, yeah. I just wanted to play with Spooks one day when he was streaming, but I had zero intention of going anywhere. Spooks just invited me, so yeah. Like, I appreciate you guys. I would happily collab with you guys sometime. The one thing is, if I keep asking for collabs, I don't want you guys to think it's because of like numbers or anything. I just don't like playing games solo, I will be honest. I'm surprised a stream like this is doing so well. Like, I'm surprised you guys are here sitting, being able to talk with me. Normally, in the past at least, these streams haven't kind of tend to do well. The only kinds that have are, well, I guess this one kind of does well, because my chilled, relaxing streams are things people like. When I do like art, it's kind of a vibe, and people can just talk, and I'll be talking while just like drawing or something, and people like that, and so I'm not that surprised. But you know, a lot of like some of my solo games never really did any well. So most of the time I play multiplayer games because those do better. Not just because those do better, but because I can't talk to nobody. I have to kind of have someone there. That's literally it. I can maybe talk, like, you know, like if I have chat or something, someone to interact with, like you guys. I can't talk to nothing. It's like it's yeah. Not yeah, I don't, most of my streams are collabs just because of that, because it makes me uncomfortable not talking to anyone. I find it hard unless I like think of a conversation beforehand to just find something to talk about, especially if there's no one there. Because like yeah, it starts a cycle. If you're not talking, no one can talk to you, and if no one's talking to me, I can't talk to anyone, and it's just a cycle of I'm stuck in this loop where no, like, there's no talking period. Love to play games with these. Yeah, yeah. Like to play more games. Boobs. Just should I stream G sometimes? Yeah. I want to be unhinged when I play. When I stream played Prage, doing affirmations. Yep. I like the cat sitting very comfortably around a campfire with its friends. I'm scared me. I need to veto it to me. Just waiting for the ads to be over, like guaranteed. Don't worry, guys. All right, welcome back, boys and girls. So let's see. Add jump scared media. Need to be did it again. That's funny. I mean, so there are so many cool people I've met. I feel lucky. Yeah, I've heard the community can be brutal as well, but I've luckily I'm pretty open about how easily I will just ban or block people. I have my guys, my block list on Twitter is insane. I have several thousand people blocked on Twitter, and I've done it all manually. Where's the list? Mute and block, blocked accounts. Um, oh, it doesn't have the number on PC. Let me open up mobile Twitter. It has a number on there somewhere. Settings, notification. No, not notifications. Privacy and safety. Uh, Mute block. I have blocked 5,527 accounts on Twitter manually, every single one. I'm not afraid to use the block button. Some of the people I've reached out have been kind, but some really do just look at the numbers. Makes me worried about talking to others sometimes. Yeah. Blocked 11. Fair. To each their own. To each their own. Yeah, no, I don't blame you, Hunter. It's there really are some people. Like this is why I find people with the same interest that are also insane like me and are super hyper fixated on the thing that they enjoy so that they don't worry about the numbers. See, as long as they focus on the game, they're not going to be worried about the numbers, okay? They're not going to be focused about the stream, any of that. We're just going to be two guys who talk about the thing that they love, or three guys or four guys, just a bunch of people. Oh, ooh, actually, hey, so you guys potentially free in 4 weeks? I know that's pretty far in the future, but Summer Games Fest. Summer Games Fest 2024. I believe it's a live stream. I'm trying to find the exact date. But my point is we are potentially getting Wilds news in summer. And the best time, like I said earlier this stream, would be Summer Games Fest on June 6th, I believe. It's in a month. And so, as the time gets closer, you guys can give me an actual answer because I know this is like pretty on the spot. If you guys want to just like stream together at the same time, just like talk, because I plan to stream while watching Summer Games Fest. It's on June 7th. Silksong News, Mayhaps, Copium. Do I have Copium on there? Is it gonna appear? No, okay, hold on. Where's my CNT? I should be free depending on the time I work overnight. Um, let's see. I'll have to find the exact time. Okay. Oh, here. There you go. There. Look at that tweet. It's that has the times on it. It's June 7th. I intend to stream that, and then maybe we'll have it's a 4 p.m. for me. Jeez, okay. But it is a Sunday, so what time is it? Check the tweet. It depends. It also depends on what time zone you're in, because I'm in CST, so it's gonna be 4 p.m. For me. It's 5 p.m. EST. So if you guys would be down to stream that together, just like with our collective reactions in case we get Monster Hunter Wilds news, I'd be totally down. I think it's like 3 for me. Jeez, okay. Yeah, we're gonna have that's an early stream for me. Because like otherwise we have no announcement of like when Wilds news is coming. They just told us summer 2024. And my assumption is right, they announced Wilds at the Game Awards. So why wouldn't Wilds news be coming with Summer Games Fest? It makes sense. There's legs on there. So I like game news in general, but I'll be working until oof. Because it's at 5 p.m. EST. So that's fair, spoops. I will update you. I'll probably be live tweeting it. Hey, look, you could call in sick that day or something. I don't know. I don't know what you do for a job, and I'm not gonna ask for your personal life. But I mean, look, if you can't make it, you can't make it. I'll probably be live tweeting it as well. Just because I want Wilds news. So I'm just gonna have like a big group call I was gonna call in sick if I needed to be honest. Fair. But don't mind sharing. Okay, well don't share on stream, you know. No need to share your personal info on stream. Stuff like that. No, you know, don't need to get in your personal life, but if you want to talk about it, I won't stop you. So just, you know, just don't do anything you're not comfortable with, you know what I mean? Not going to encourage that. That's not doxing really on me. Might go early, who knows? Fair. Yeah. So, yeah, I know. It's just like, you know, if, you know, I'm just trying to cover my bases. But yeah, because like depending on your job, you may or may not be able to be free, and it depending on certain kind of jobs, some require, um, you know, more on time, timely stuff. I just stock shelves or do odd jobs. Okay, that's fair. Because my job, I would rarely be able to call out sick. My last job, I don't have a job currently. But yeah, if you guys would be down to stream that together, hope in copium for Monster Hunter news. I'd love to get just a bunch of people together, you know, maybe Victory, Lance, just any other Monster Hunter fans, really. I'm mostly focusing for the Monster Hunter fans, but I wouldn't mind others being there as well, you know. Just a big old call, just streaming, not really focusing on the stream, just more focusing on the the, the live stream. How do you feel about the Monster Hunter movies? Awful. There's only one Monster Hunter movie, um, and it's garbage. They made a mockery of Monster Hunter. Like, I don't want to call it off because Twitch, besides Twitch, it's mostly my own. Like, fair. That's fair. Legends of the Guild isn't so bad. Legends of the Guild is good. The Monster Hunter movie though is garbage. Do you like the cast? No, I very much. Okay, the Monster Hunter movie was a mockery of Monster Hunter in itself. It was literally someone trying to cash off of the success of Monster Hunter World. What they did is it was some guy who didn't know anything about Monster Hunter and did not play any of the games was deciding to make a movie about Monster Hunter. Okay? Cuz like that's first off bad. And then they tried changing the monster designs to make them look scarier, completely ignoring like monster and its focus on ecology and proper like monster design. Like they literally put so much effort into the monsters. And it's just vile to do that to a series like this. So while a lot of people don't care about that semantics of stuff like that, it was like it's just like you really did that to, you know, just like Monster Hunter. Like you could just tell the lack of care that they put into that movie. They did not care. They were it was literally just made to cash on world success. And you can and that's backed up by the fact that no, I didn't see it in theaters. In fact, I think I saw it I don't even remember how I saw it. Probably just online somewhere. But the fact and you can base off of the fact that it was on the successive world, um, because there are characters that are from Monster Hunter World in there, but the world of Monster like the plot of Monster Hunter World has nothing to do with it because like they have like the admiral and just some of the characters and like the captain or whatever his name is, the guy who literally saves you at the very beginning of Monster Hunter World. Um, the guy who's voiced by Matt Mercer in the English version of the game. Um, in the English dub of the game, where like those characters are in the Monster Hunter movie, not but because they're good characters, but because it's from Monster Hunter World. And like most of the thing takes place in a desert. The main character is a military person, and then the weapons, they don't even focus on the weapons, right? It's at least like the CGI was good, right? But Jesus, who's Matt Mercer? Industry icon. He does like D&D stuff. He's the voice of Cole Cassidy in Overwatch. Um, and he's really big in the D&D space. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't know him. But if you're a nerd, I am surprised. He's kind of a big deal. He's a great guy. He's like everybody loves him. He's an amazing guy, and he's really smart. Like, you know, when it comes to like D&D, but he's also he's just incredible, and I look up to him a lot. Um, but yeah, like there was just so much wrong with the Monster Hunter movie. Like they genuinely just did not give a shit about anything. Just check because I live under a rock, under a breadcrumb, as an amoeba. You spelled amoeba wrong. It's it's spelled like this. I like how Twitch thought that was a link. What about the Netflix movie? Are you talking about the animated one? The Oh yeah, Legends of the Guild. That was good. I didn't watch all of it, but that one's good. It was well done. It genuinely appreciated Monster Hunter for what it was. Like honestly. I think that I can't remember anything that I disliked, but I remember I disliked something, but it wasn't that bad. It was very short. Yeah, they did a lot right. Yes. It felt like actual love and care for the series was put into that compared to the fucking Monster Hunter movie. Would you like another live action one in the future? Um, if they start over, if it has nothing to do with the other live action movie, yes, because it's just the other one was awful. The CGI was really good. They did a good job, and I'm glad that the Monster Hunter team that they literally contacted the Monster Hunter team and was like, "Hey, is this right? Or how is this?" You know, just like, you know, because they literally had to fix some of the Monster Hunter like monster designs. Like I said earlier, they gave Diablos like sharper claws without realizing the point of why it has like smoother claws. Like they thought nothing of the ecology. They did not realize that ecology is like a thing in Monster Hunter. And I want people who actually love and care about the Monster Hunter series to make a live action movie, because I think it would actually be good if they genuinely cared. If they have to take some liberties, it's fine. That's fine by me. But if they just do not show any care for the series, like what got me is how much they made a threat of Rathalos in the movie. Rathalos is really not that big of a deal. In fact, like several of the characters could have taken them on. And then like they had like the portal stuff and like going through dimensions. The Monster Hunter movie was an isekai. It was an isekai. I'm gonna go insane. They literally, it was some military woman in military in a Humvee with other military soldiers, and then they got transported to another world in a dust storm. No, Please just stay in Monster Hunter. Stay in the world of Monster Hunter. Please. I don't I don't care about sci-fi, to be honest. Um the live action, yeah, like I said, the CGI, the monsters were really good. They looked really good. But man, them going back to the Rathlos bit, they made Rathlos fucking gigantic. Like, Jesus Christ, it was so big in the movie. Oh my god, it was insane. Like they did a crossover event in world with the Monster Hunter movie. And the Rathalos you fight in there's like 4 or 5 times bigger than the like a normal Rathalos. Like they made him significantly bigger in the event. No, he wasn't always big. He was maybe 2 hunters tall, but in like the movie, he was like 5 or 6. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up pictures. Give me a second. Here, so someone literally made a comparison. So here is what Rathalos looks like compared to the hunter in the movie. The little red circle is the hunter. They are shorter than its toe. This is insane. Normally, like the hunter would be able to stand from like the head would be on the underside at like most at like a Rathalos's largest size. The head would be under like the hunter's head would reach up to the underside of Rathalos standing up. Doesn't seem like a fair fight. No, it doesn't. They made Rathalos such a big deal. Rathalos is just like, yeah, like of course it's the king of the skies and it kind of is a big deal in Monster Hunter, but this is absurd. Like this is what I mean. The Monster Hunter movie, this live action movie was not made out of care or love for the series. And that's what pisses me off. Who would you prefer they went with? I don't know. I just wish they would have made Rathalos its proper size. Rathalos is a proper threat, but like they just don't care for the actual series. Like I like it's just absurd. Like I think Rathalos was a fine monster. It is a fierce monster. And it can be a wall to people. Like once you get to high rank, it can be a wall for some people. But this is insane. This is literally insane. What is the BTS? Oh, behind the scenes? No, I haven't. I did see the director interview, but I have not seen the behind the scenes. And they straight up admitted that they did not consume any media about Monster Hunter. They none of them the director did not play any of the games. They openly admitted that it's not a good look for a movie about a beloved franchise. Exactly. It's just like it would like especially the fact that they bring in characters from Monster Hunter World, but have like, in fact, it has nothing to do with Monster Hunter World is also what irks me. Because these are characters that have only existed in a single game. And why would you bring them from characters from a single game that have zero plot relevance to anything else in Monster Hunter? Because Monster Hunter World was successful. Did you at least like any of the nods or Easter eggs? I don't know. I mean, at this point, it's real. It was just like they were hinting at the end. They literally showed off Gore Magala. It's like, oh, Gore Magala is gonna be in the next one if we do a sequel because this is gonna be so successful. And no, no, it wasn't. Because they literally show off Gore Magala at the very end. And I no, I don't think so because I feel like they would have tried to make Gore Magala be the cause of like the space time continuum stuff or something where that lets them travel between worlds. I think like genuinely, I think they would have done that, and no. Also, all right, they didn't even get Gore Magala's like design completely correct. Like it irks me because Gore Magala is one of my favorite monsters. Arathos is a threat, yes, but they couldn't think of a way to make it a threat besides it's mostly invincible and really big. Yeah, exactly. So here, look at this image of Gore Magala from the movie and tell me what's wrong. Tell me what's very wrong about this. It's very obvious if you know Gore Magala. The face, yes, yes, the face. Literally the face. And specifically, here, I'm getting my red circle out. Face only a mother could love. What the fuck is this? What is this down here? Right? What is this? Cause like if you were to pull up, let me find a picture of Gore Magala's face. Like a decent picture. Here. You know what? I'll take this one. Look at this. Look at its chin, right? Nothing. There's literally nothing there. Like what the heck? Because on this one over here, it's the jaw. That's the jaw. This the jaw ends right here. These are the bottom teeth. No, it doesn't depend on the gender. In fact, I don't think the Magalas have a gender because they do not reproduce sexually. Magalas do not reproduce sexually. Like this is the teeth. This is the jaw. Like the chin. That doesn't exist here. Magalas do not reproduce sexually. So I don't think there is a male or female. There is just Magala. They spread their spores. Their spores take over a monster, and then supposedly we don't know exactly, but we do know that it's that Gore Magala is asexual. I guess well not asexual, but that it reproduces. Well, I guess asexually. Um, I mean, hey, look, spoops. There's a hole. There's a goal. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, but my point is like so theoretically, I don't remember if it's a proven fact or if it's uh or whatever, but essentially they would spread their spores, it would consume other monsters, kill them, and then birth a Gore Magala from that monster, right? Like that's how they would reproduce. Maybe that's some what I'm saying. Base. Maybe in this universe, I don't care. No, no, I don't want a new universe. I want an existing universe. I want them to show off the beautiful thing that is Monster Hunter. No, no, no universe crap. Like just make a new monster then. Just make a new universe at that point. That feels like a cop out. Like genuinely. If you make a movie about a pre-existing franchise, your target audience will always be fans of said franchise. You can keep saying, "Oh, it's it's to draw new people in." But the real goal is to get money out of the franchise, out of the people who love the franchise, because you know they want more content of the thing they enjoy. So they are going to continue to consume. So if they went for the new original new monster design, would you be post? No. If they made a new monster for the Monster Hunter movie, I would not be surprised. But if it was literally just cobbled together, or if it was like, oh, they just changed the design of an existing monster, I would not like it. If they made an entirely, completely original monster for a Monster Hunter movie, I would not be upset. And in fact, I think it would be good because, you know, it could eventually be added to a game, right? But I want it to have the same design process that the other monsters have in Monster Hunter. I don't want it to just be designed completely with cool factor in mind. I love Monster Hunter ecology, okay? So like someone else maybe. Someone else may like it. You know, if it even if it doesn't have ecology, but I will not like it if it does not have anything to do with ecology. If they literally just make it on the rule of cool. Ugh. They should have gone with the serpent. Yeah, no, serpent monsters are cool. They could have gone with Dalamadur, an actually large ass fucking monster. And they had a tower. They could have had it around the tower. But no. No. Like seriously. You cannot convince me in any way. Like I mean, you cannot convince me in any way that the movie was not based off of or just trying to pull off of the success of World. Like genuinely, I cannot believe it. Like that it's not just ripping off the success of World. It pulls in characters from World in a series notorious for having unique characters every game. Yeah. What if they made a movie where you befriend a Mizu that helps slay other monsters? Hey, Monster Hunter Stories lets you befriend monsters. Go ahead. Honestly, I think it would be cool. Would love a Kraken monster? Sounds awesome. Honestly, genuinely. Like if you could befriend a monster in a game, look, you can do even if Stories wasn't a series, right? If Monster Hunter Stories wasn't a series, I still think having being able to befriend a monster would be cool. Especially like, hey, it's for a movie. If they do it right, I'm happy with it. If they do it right, that's the thing. If it's just because if it's just because for the plot, no, ew. Like things have to have a reason. There has to be logic put into it. Monster Hunter isn't just cobbled together. Like they put thought into things, right? How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah, if How to Train Your Dragon didn't do it, look, even like I said, if How to Train Your Dragon didn't exist, or if Monster Hunter Stories didn't exist, I'd still be happy. I'd still be happy with them being able to like tame a monster. Would be a cool concept, genuinely. It's just like yeah, they just disrespected Monster Hunter for the money and for the success. That's what I'm upset about. But yeah. Did you read the Screen Rant article this year about a possible live action sequel? I don't care. If it's by the same people, I look, I'm probably look, if that movie gets a sequel, like an actual sequel, I'm not going to watch it until I see until I see what other people think of it. Like what other Monster Hunter fans think of it. If it happens, it happens. You know, there should be a different director. Again, even if it's the same director, but they change and they learn, fine by me. You know, it's like if they make a legitimate sequel, or if they make just another Monster Hunter live action movie, I do not care. Same main character? No, never mind. Nope. I hate the idea of an isekai with Monster Hunter. Genuinely, I hate it. Just like you have so good, there's just so many good ideas that you can do within the world of Monster Hunter, and they bring someone out from a different monster, like from a different universe. They add interdimensional travel into Monster Hunter. No, no, that's way too much fantasy. No, look, I can maybe look past it if they fix all of the other issues, but I feel like I mean the MonsterVerse movies are making their rounds, so I would not be surprised when it brings fans over the Monster Hunter because it sells. Clearly, the last Monster Hunter movie didn't sell. That's for sure. Like, so honestly, okay. If they fix all of the issues, then maybe I'd be more open to an isekai protagonist because that's what the last director did, and they're just continuing the mistake that the previous thing, you know. If they continue, if they retcon stuff, hey, I'd be super happy. But if they just continue with the garbage that the first movie had and add on to it, I no, I'm not gonna watch it. Like I'm genuinely just not going to watch it until I see what other people have to say about it. Like even fundamentally as a movie, I've seen people talk about people who aren't Monster Hunter fans talk about the Monster Hunter movie, and it's just genuinely people like the consensus is that just the movie is just awful straight up. Like even as a movie in general, it's just awful. Like the main character's motivations awful, the plot awful, the use of the character is it's just not good as a movie. It's, you know, I would rather them reboot it than make a sequel. I'd rather them just start from scratch. Like you have something like the Netflix one where there's an actual reason and motive for them hunting a monster, right? I think it's something like their village is getting attacked or something like that. I forget. It's been a while, but like you know, it's a threat and it's like a nemesis. They have like something to protect, something to do. Monster Hunters. I know the gameplay is a little like, oh hey, go hunt this monster for me, but sometimes the overall plot is, hey, our village is under attack, and that's what I want. I want that. No, I don't think even the pandemic, look, okay, even if it wasn't the pandemic you couldn't fix, there were so many fundamental flaws in that movie. Genuinely. Like I've already been over it. Like I said, everything I said still stands because none of it was driven by the fact the only thing that would have been affected by from that movie about the pandemic is when it came out or like if the CGI was bad. But no, the CGI was really good and the movie fundamentally looked pretty. So like that's so the pandemic didn't do anything to the movie negatively. But yeah, it's just like you know, in Monster Hunter, I dislike even in the games. I dislike just hunt this monster for me because I don't like it or something. But I like the idea of having a nemesis, kind of like for you, where you're constantly fighting the same Gore Magala over and over, and eventually it molts into a Shigaru Magala. You know, and you're fighting the same creature over and over. I think in 3U you have or in one of the games, the one where Tigrex is introduced, you literally have an it's your nemesis. You are constantly having to fight it. You know. Take care, spoops. I'm not gonna stream too much longer, honestly. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. This Kezu wasn't live action. I don't really care for Kezu. It's just like that movie was just straight up disrespectful. Thanks for stopping by, spoops. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, it's like there was no saving the Monster Hunter movie. It was doomed from its initial start. Literally, you'd have to have had from the beginning changed the director. There was just there was so many fundamental flaws. I don't know. I'm not a I don't know very many actors. Maybe Jack Black. Jack Black and a Monster Hunter would be funny. I think a Monster Hunter. Oh my god! Wait. Okay, hear me out, guys. I don't know how it would work, but a Monster Hunter buddy cop movie. I don't know how it would work, but it would be really funny. Look, I just care about if things are accurate to Monster Hunter. As long as they don't make a mockery of it, I don't care. You can make a silly story, you can make a captivating story. As long as it's not to the detriment of Monster Hunter or like, pre-existing stuff, that I don't care. But yeah, a buddy cop movie. Yeah. Um like MH Stories movie could work. Yeah, it could definitely work. So okay, so I'm assuming you don't know what a buddy cop is. So it's basically, what if they made it into the perspective of monsters and it was a completely silent movie? No, I'm not a fan of like the silent movie. I think maybe as a short film, maybe, but not as a full length movie. But a buddy cop movie would be like two people. So yeah, here I'll just read the Wikipedia article. There's a Wikipedia article on what buddy cop is. Film and television genre with plots involving two people of very different and conflicting personalities who are forced to work together to solve a crime and or defeat criminals. So basically, it's just two people that are constantly fighting, learning to work together. I think two hunters that work very differently, trying to hunt down a single monster with a collective goal, would be really funny. It's like if it's just it has to be done right. Jack Black teaming up with the Mizu would be funny. Oh my god, imagine the Mizu being able to like talk. Because like the point is you need to have them properly interact. Like you can't have one of them be silent. They both need to be conflicting with each other constantly. I would prefer it to be two hunters, honestly. I think having a monster as a pal would be a different movie, honestly. But it is what it is. You would have the monster talk telepathically. No, I don't like no telepathy is telepathy is too fantasy for me for Monster Hunter. It's too fantasy. And like nah, it's like talking monster is also too fantasy. Like you could have that. Um, at that point, just not do Monster Hunter. What if you made the cats talk? They do talk technically. Some of them, I think. Look, we see text, but we don't know if they're constantly meowing the entire time, and we just understand it. What about like if a bond is strong, they get a general idea if they want like yeah, yes. Okay, look, that can work. Like I said, if okay, buddy cop. If you want a buddy cop movie, right? Two hunters. It would have to be two hunters. You need them fully talking and the viewers being able to completely understand both of them completely. With that idea of like the bond of general idea what they want, you would technically it would literally be person A and creature. Creature just meows or whatever, and person A is like, yeah, and then says out loud what they said. It's like, yeah, I do think this monster is strong or something. That's how that would work. That would not work as a buddy cop. Same thing with the monster companion or anything like that. It's just like monster companion would be its own, would have to be its own separate thing, and even then no, like no talking, no telepathy, any of that, you know. Translator, no. Too fantasy, too sci-fi. Like I'm sure this is like, I can tell this is something you really want. It would not work with Monster Hunter personally. You can make a fanfic, you could do your own thing, but for me, who really wants like Monster Hunter correctly done, no, not at all. Not something I would enjoy with Monster Hunter. Something I would enjoy with maybe a different series, but not with Monster Hunter. What if the monster you tame monster, they share bond, you control monsters. Uh it's way too fantasy. No. I look, I look, your ideas are fine. That sounds like a lot like Monster Hunter stories to us, but it's way too much fantasy. I don't Monster Hunter isn't a fantasy game, despite what you may believe. It has fantasy aspects, but it is not a fantasy game. In most of what Monster Hunter has, there is logic and reason. There are some fantastical elements like Fatalis itself, but that is more for a shock and awe factor because they do not properly understand how Fatalis works, and that's why Fatalis works so well as a monster. The share bond, you can somewhat control what they do, but for the most part, they do what they want. Yeah, exactly. That's a lot more logical, and I'm happy with kind of how Monster Hunter Stories does the things. I know nothing about Game of Thrones. I know literally nothing about Game of Thrones. I think they fuck a dragon or something. I don't know. It's some woman is called the mother of dragons, so I don't know. Um, but Monster Hunters, like I said, if you mean how much fantasy it is, hold on, I need a drink. If you're talking about how much fantasy it is compared to Game of Thrones, that I do know. Game of Thrones is way too fantasy. Game of Thrones is. Oh, I mean, okay, well, actually, I think the most fantastical part about Game of Thrones is just the dragons themselves, right? They don't have magical powers or anything like that. There's no, like, destiny or, you know, passed down generation of, like, magical power or, like, bloodline stuff, right? Other than the dragon stuff. If you were to cut out the dragons, it's just, like, normal night, you know, whatever, like, medieval type stuff, right? I don't know. Like, okay, so Monster Hunter, while it has fantastical elements, excuse me, every monster kind of has a reason for why it is that way. There are like evolutionary branches, and monsters have evolved, and there are certain monsters that others have evolved from that we just don't know of. but like everything has a reason for why it exists, why it looks like that, why it has like a certain power or something. There is always logic into it. Like I I really learned this whenever they were making the Monster Hunter movie, and the Monster Hunter team had to correct them because and I said this earlier. Diablos has rounded claws, and they in the Monster Hunter movie they wanted to make them sharp and pointy because it looked more threatening. But they're rounded because it evolved that way, and they're dulled because they Diablos digs through the earth and sand, and it's easier to dig through that way if you have dulled claws rather than sharp claws. There are actual like evolutionary thought and development into the designs of the monsters in several aspects. Well, and now some of the earlier Monster Hunter designs, the monster designs from like the earlier games like Rathalos and Rathian are a lot more fantasy because that's how Monster Hunter started. It had a lot more fantasy aspects, but that has died away and the vision of Monster Hunter has changed to be more kind of realistic in a sense. Logical is the word I'm looking for. There is logic and thought put into what actually, you know, happens because of a monster. It doesn't just happen because of a cool factor. I'm trying to think of something like another evolutionary trait another monster has and why it has it. I don't remember all of them because there's a lot. But this kind of also plays into like Monster Hunter Generations, Generations Ultimate with like the deviant monsters, and like the Diablos. Specific this I'm talking about Diablos again. It's the Bloodbath Diablos. Bloodbath Diablos is not a special like evolution of a Diablos. It is a Diablos that has survived many hunts against other against like actual hunters. Like one of its horns is broken off and a new horn grew in its place and is now like covering its eye. It's constantly enraged and like wounded and scarred from all the hunts that it's been through. It's you know and like it's literally there's only one of it. Like canonically, story wise, there's only one Bloodbath Diablos. And then there's some other aspects to it that are a little more fantasy, but they still are rooted in logic, like the fact that when it's enraged, it'll secrete body fluids that will then become to evaporate because it's intense body temperature, causing some steam to spread off of its body, and then cause steam explosions. Like that's a little bit fantasy, a little bit, but like there's logic put into the thought of it. And I highly implore you look into some of that stuff. This is like what I love about what the Monster Hunter team has been doing with Monster Hunter. You know, this is it's just something I really love about Monster Hunter. Like it because I get really immersed into the world. Um, but yeah, it's and this is what Monster Hunter is like going towards even more in the future. Ecology and a focus on the world and like the hunt. And I really hope I think Spoops had said earlier, I hope Monster Hunter gets harder. Like Wilds gets harder. I want a hunt. I want to hunt a monster. I want more preparation. I want to fight monsters that have like these evolutionary traits. They've evolved from the situations they're in. We're going to be seeing monsters because we're exploring supposedly wild lands that have been untamed, and so monsters have gone here only having to deal with other monsters and not any hunters, kind of thing. If that's what we're to believe is going on. Because again, we have almost no information about Monster Hunter Wilds. So, yeah. Yeah. Like again, some of these movie ideas you came up with, they're not bad, but I just do not think they would work with Monster Hunter. Even if you put like the love of Monster Hunter and the care into it, it would be not something I would watch as a fan of Monster Hunter. And I feel like at that point you probably should. There are other uh worlds and universes that exist that have that kind of technology, and it would be so much more interesting in something in of those other ones. But what I really love about Monster Hunter is how immersive it is, how real it feels, how like the logic behind the choices they make. And it makes me happy to like engage with those the choices the developers made. I keep forgetting all of my stuff. Yeah. Yep, 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 yep. Me, 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 me. Excuse me. What now? Was there anything else before? I talked about the Monster Hunter movie and just movie ideas for a while. And then I went on a big tangent about ecology. Um, then there was some other stuff. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm super excited about Wilds, though. I am very excited about Wilds, if you can't tell. I mean, I've literally spent like I don't know how many hours today on stream here on both my two streams combined because my stream froze. Um, I have no idea how long the other one was. How long was it? It was 5 hours. Um, and this one has been um an hour. So, oh no, the other one was 5 hours ago when I started. 3.5 hours for almost five. We're almost hitting 4 hours. In another 20 minutes, it'll be, or 15 minutes, it'll be 5 hours of streaming. But yeah, I'm very excited for Wilds and for the future of Monster Hunter. There is so much that could be, you know. I'm really excited for the Games Fest in 4 weeks. I'm hopefully not busy. Well, it's a Sunday, so I'm not going to be busy then. For the specific Games Fest, but yeah. Surprised I was able to just talk this long without having any gameplay or anything, without having to play a game. Like, genuinely. I think I've just kind of been, like, staring at my model with the little interactive, the little speech bubble. They're not bubble, but you know what I mean. Little yellow bits. And I'm very proud of my model, I will say. I modeled, I painted, I rigged it, I designed it all myself. Well, with some inspired design choices, but yeah. What?
So tasty.
Head Bacon, thank you for subbing. I'm sorry I don't have much content for you to enjoy, but enjoy the emotes at least. No, you're awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I don't even know what emotes are locked behind sub and what aren't, and I don't know if there's any. Is there any on tier 2? It gets I have to go like way into my stuff. Viewer rewards, emotes. Oh, there's nothing on tier 2, but there's on tier 3. Happy to sub. Thank you. I very much appreciate it. You're one of few to have subbed, and I really do appreciate it. And I do have subscriber babs subscriber badges that go up to at least a year and a half. Doubt anyone will sub for that long, but they exist. they're little diamond shapes. If you see the one on mine is the 10-month one. I drew those myself. Cute little diamonds, Death Diamond 15. Actually, I do have. Well, I was gonna say, you know what? Have I shown you guys? You might have seen it on Twitter, but I do have like I drew the model art for my model, so I have where is it? Come on, on my model on the little cuffs there, you can see those red diamonds. That's what it is, kinda. Hi, peek. So I did draw my own model. I would like to have one like this. I would like to have a 2D model, but I think it would be kind of a pain to do myself, and I don't have the money to splurge on that, which is pretty much also part of the reason why I did it all myself. I had the know-how to make the model, and I guess technically I had the know-how to rig the model, just not rigging it for streaming. I really appreciate it. I can't say how much enough I appreciate subs. Thank you. You don't have to, but I really do appreciate it. I don't know if I have much else to say. If you guys have anything more to talk about. If there's any guys opinions or something you want me to talk about, any other speculation or ideas for Monster Hunter World or Wilds, I mean, I keep saying World. Just if you guys have any questions. Um Trying to see if there's any other stuff that I maybe want from want from Wilds. Um hmm. Adolka was a really good fight in. Oh, actually, okay. So this reminded me of something. So Adolka, the final boss of GU, is a spectacular monster that um. Have you beaten GU? I don't want to talk about it if you haven't beaten GU. Like genuinely, because it will it's kind of spoilers. It's a really cool fight. So if you aren't spoiled, yeah, the bug mecha. I mean, if you know and you don't care about spoilers, then I'll gladly talk about it. But if you want me to not talk about it, I won't talk about it. Anything else? One thing Lance and I think, agreed on. I don't know if we agreed on, but something I think about is the free field to talk about. It? Okay, I'll talk about this real quick. Is that like the gathering hub in Sunbreak was kind of lackluster because you didn't have like a town and a hub. You just had a hub, and I kind of want both, you know. But it whatever. So Adolka. Spoilers for GU ahead. Um, so Autocad it built a mech out of machine parts, out of like scrap parts that it controls with its webbing and string. And it designs and it is has designed it based on the like creatures and creature of monsters that are around it. It is like it designed its mech based on other monsters that exist in the game that are around it that are just as powerful. If Aroka were to be in like Wilds, let's say, first off, it would be really cool, and I think it would be a really good fight done if done correctly. But also, it would be very different from uh how it appears in GU because it would be different it would be different monsters in Wilds that are in GU. And so the mech would actually be different. It would be a different fight completely. Well, not completely, but like the mech would be different. It would do different things. It would look differently. It would function differently. Like if you think about it, and that's also kind of like a like a oh it's a different game or whatever. But like if you think about it ecology wise, Aroka would have a different mech because of the pieces it has available to it, but also the other monsters that exist around it because it bases its designs and like and mech functionality and stuff like that on other monsters around it. And I think that would be incredibly cool. Sorry. My throat's kind of dying from talking and for like 5 hours straight. Also, my allergies. Also, even if magnetic weapons don't come back like the magnet spikes, there are some monsters like magnetic monsters like Ruko from Frontier that would actually be incredibly cool in just a modern game because of the abilities they have. And while that's a little more fantasy than I'm happy with, it the fight is fun enough and it has logic to it as well. Even some of the absurd things that Frontier has logic in its ecology. Magnet spikes were so okay. I had a chance to play with the magnet spikes. They were really fun. The problem is it's not going to come back without a major rework because it essentially puts the hammer to shame because it can do both blade and stun or cutting and stun, and it really just it is just a better hammer in 99% of the scenarios, like legitimately, other than like the 1% of scenarios there's like 1% of scenarios legitimately where the hunter the not the hunter the hammer wins out against the magnet spikes. But the magnet spikes is really fun. It's not something I would maybe want to come back logically without a major rework. Now the Tonfa on the other hand is really cool and I think could work with also with a rework. But it fills a gap that the monster hunter that we have in our 14 weapons, and that's a fast blunt weapon. Because like while the hammer's kind of fast, it's slow, and the hunting horn's even slower, but it's more of a support weapon as well. But we don't have a fast blunt weapon, and like I said, I there are some things that I just like. The Tonfa's just a little OP. I feel like it could work with aerial attacks a bit, being able to propel yourself with because it's like having pistons strapped to your arms as well sometimes. And it's a little too mechanical for me. Again, sticking with like Monster Hunter's theming, um but it could work. I have a vision. I can't word it, but I have a vision, and I could see like Tonfa legitimately returning. Although I doubt it would be Wilds, because we have a solid 14 weapons. I'd actually like okay. While I want a new weapon just because it would be cool, I don't think we're going to be getting a new weapon for a long time. Maybe not until Monster Hunter 7. I would genuinely be surprised if we had a new weapon in the next Monster Hunter. I would not be surprised if we had Tonfa returning. In fact, I'd be pleasantly surprised and happy because I that's something I want. But you know, but the magnet spikes are really fun. They are really, really fun. You shoot a magnetic gun at a monster, and then you can pull yourself towards it or propel yourself away from it. You can dash around. You can fucking fly with that thing. It's so much fun. And like I will leave Frontier in its own thing because Frontier is incredibly absurd. And nothing in Frontier is really canon. Some things are too absurd for my taste, though. And I have my fun with it, much like I have my fun with Rise. Um, yeah. You need an absurd weapon for the absurd monsters they have. That's really it. I mean, okay, having like magnet spikes, being able to like, let's say we had size accurate Dalamadur, like world, like Monster Hunter World size, because like the Rotten Veil is made from a Dalamadur corpse. So if we had that with a ton or with a magnet spike, imagine being able to like climb that fucking thing, just like dashing up to its head. That would be cool. Would it fit? No, it would not. Yeah, I don't think it would fit Monster Hunter. But hey, it would be cool for like a spin-off game or a mobile, no, not mobile game, but yeah, mobile portable game. Mobile game is different. Portable game. Yeah. I do want hunting styles to come back. Those were cool in GU. Those are something I liked from a portable game. I would also like to see crossplay. Actually, this is something I did want to talk about. So, I don't know if you guys know of any other Capcom games, but there's a Capcom game called Exoprimal, where it's hunting styles and something skills, yes, and crossplay. So Exoprimal is a game where you're like mechs and you're fighting you're fighting dinosaurs that come out of like sphere portals. It's a little ridiculous, and the game has a lot of issues, to be honest. But one thing that they're doing, I feel like Exoprimal is an experiment with crossplay, because Exoprimal does have crossplay. And I think this is something that Capcom has slowly been trying to work towards, because in the past they've done a push for people to sign up for a Capcom account, and doing so, having a Capcom account would make it easier for people to be able to play like crossplay. And so it wouldn't be unlikely for say Monster Hunter 6 to have crossplay. Now they do have some features that like are missing, like you cannot, or like last time I checked, I don't know if that's true now, but it's been a while. You can't you can matchmake with crossplay, like you can find other people randomly, but you cannot make a party with through crossplay. Like you cannot invite someone from another uh console to join a party and then uh play. That's a thing. And then another thing which I'm not too worried about, but other like YouTubers might be like having an issue with, or other people you'll see what I mean in a minute, but cross save, where it's like you can play where it's basically your account, all your stuff is saved onto your account, so you would be able to like um like play the base game on PC, and then if you wanted to switch over to console, you'd have all your progress saved. That's cross save. That's not a thing yet, to my knowledge, but it is something that people have been asking for. But crossplay, I think, is a little more important, especially when there are people who I know that don't have um, a PC and they instead play on PlayStation or Xbox. And it's like, I want to be able to play with those people at the very least. Being able to like to friend them and then play with them would be so cool, and I think it would be a lot of fun, and it would genuinely just be a positive for Monster Hunter. Um, 16 player lobbies is nice, that they have in Monster Hunter World. I'm surprised they went back down to 4 player lobbies in Rise. Doesn't make sense, but whatever. Probably just because the hub is so small, and it's yeah. But it seems like crossplays is something they're working on in their Capcom games, and I don't know if any other games have it, but I do know that it's an Exoprimal, and it feels like that's something they're working towards. And maybe Monster Hunter 6, Monster Hunter Wilds could have crossplay, even if it's something later in the future. And if not 6, maybe Monster Hunter 7. We can only pray. Or maybe they'll add it after DLC. I'm not sure, but Monster Hunter has been in the oven for, Wilds has been in the oven for a long time. I love hunting styles, something like switch skills and crossplay. Yeah. Played Exoprimal religiously at launch. I just really like dinosaurs. That's fair. I wasn't a fan of the game. But I liked the concept. I didn't like the execution, but I respected what it's doing for. Hope in Wilds the hub area is more like Rise. If it's a gigantic, at least let me see. Yes, very much so. The one thing that made me really bad about, or really sad about Celiana is like all this whole big wide open area, and I can't see anyone. But only in the hub can you see people. Like that was kind of a shame, and I do hope they do continue with that. Although I do want a separated area, but like base game rise is what I want. The main area and the hub being interchangeable, you can go through them, you can interact with both of them, and you can see people in both. That's what I want. Sunbreak is okay, and I'd maybe be happy with it if you could have all 16 people there, if it was also a lot bigger area. If you Bluey, if you or Hunter, okay, I'm trying to say Hunter. I'm trying. I've been trying all 5 hours. Um, uh, if you remember For You's hub area, like the first one, Valhabar, imagine being able to like that twice as big with the hunting like the little multiplayer hub, being able to run through that with 16 people total would be awesome. Or maybe 8. Maybe 16's too many. Maybe it'll be a little heavy. But 8 people running through that would be so cool. Yeah. If it's big, I want my buddies running around. Exactly. I that's what I want. Honestly, I want something like Valhabar. Valhabar is home to me. Like I love the Valhabar theme so much. I don't know if I told you. I've mentioned it on stream when I was making my design, but I know you weren't there much. I don't think you really knew who I was when I was making this design, or if you showed up, which is fine. But my point is that I don't think you were there when I was talking about this design, and specifically the colors of this design. I color picked from a screenshot of Valhabar. The colors for this model. Like this model, uh, that's what I did. I color picked from a picture of Valhabar to get these colors, and I chose which colors I wanted and where they went, of course. Um, but these colors all come from a single screenshot of Valhabar because I love For You so much. My menu or my overlays made by For You. My my favorite monsters come from For You. My design has the colors of For You, etc. Let me see if I have the picture of Alhabar. Yeah, this one. There you go. It's very cozy. And so you can see I have a lot of like the light greens, the oranges, stuff like that. Of course, I have my blonde hair and brown eyes because that's how I look IRL. It's just based off of me after all. I have like the blue details. Had my own custom red in there, the brown, the white, etc. It it was designed to feel cozy because that's the feel I get from Valhabar. Valhabar makes me feel happy. It feels cozy. It's Valhabar is home for me. Yeah. And so that's what I wanted from my model because people liked my streams, said I was cozy. So gotta feel like home. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here because I need to go to the bathroom and it's almost 1 a.m. here. So I'm gonna raid off and I'm gonna go raid Victory. I think. Wait, let me see if there's anyone else. Because I don't know how long he's gonna be streaming. Um, yeah, no, it's just gonna be Victory. There's not really anyone else I know that's going to be streaming. So I'm gonna read you guys off to Victory. What a great buddy. Be nice. Say hi to him for me. And thank you guys so much for sticking through this even after my PC froze and I had to restart stream. Victory's super nice. Victory is a great guy, genuinely. So I thank you guys for sticking around this long and listening to me just rant for 5 hours. I really do appreciate it. So make sure to stay along the raid. Give him a lot of love. And I'll see you guys maybe next week. I plan to stream more, so take care.